When I went full-time in entrepreneurship in 2007, there just wasn't as much advice as there is today on social media about building online businesses. And so I had to figure out a lot of the stuff myself with my teams in the trenches every single day. So I wanted to make a video to help you, to help people who want to make money, succeed, become successful with online businesses, and a video that I would have wanted to see when I was starting out over 15 years ago. So let's dive right in and let's talk about the 8 habits that made me a multi-millionaire with the internet. Number 1 is being hungry to learn new high-level skills. What do I mean by high level? Well, when you start out in business, you're going to have to do a lot of things yourself. You're going to have to do accounting, customer support, graphic design maybe, tech, sales, marketing, advertising, email marketing, packaging, branding, social media, everything, right? Especially when you're starting out and you don't have a large budget. And so the number one thing I would tell myself is to master high level, high income skills. And luckily that's what I did. So I went deep into marketing, online advertising, online marketing, because I knew that if I can master, if I can become really good at selling things online through copywriting, through the written word, I knew I can make a lot of money, and that's what happened. One thing, if you're now looking at building online businesses, making it a career, you need to focus on high income, high level skills. Being good at customer support is great, but it's very easy to outsource that. Being great at sales, persuasion, influence, marketing, online marketing, understanding branding, how branding fits into the overall strategy, those are the skills you need to master. So focus on high level skills. Number 2, working on your mindset. I was very lucky because I was trained by some of the best tennis coaches, conditioning coaches in the world when I was training to become a professional tennis player. So I didn't realize it at the time, but I was literally training with the best. And if you Google some of the names that I've trained with, they went on to coach some of the best players in history. So throughout my tennis education, in a way, I was given the skills to be good at business. And so I found that a lot of the things that I was taught to become a good tennis player translated very well into becoming a good business person, a good investor, a good leader. And so that's one thing I would highly recommend if you don't have something like sports or pro sports that give you that type of mindset, is you need to work on your mindset every single day. You need to build a network of people that you aspire to be at the level at, and you need to ask them for advice. You need to seek out mentors who have gone through the storms, who've gone through the issues, who have overcome issues. If you're alone today in your basement, in your parents' house, that's great. That's how I started out. But if you want to get to a higher level, you will need to work on your mind. Your mind, your brain is the best weapon that you have, your best tool that you have to rise up and make a lot of money and be successful, whatever you want to be successful at. So you need to cultivate a mindset of abundance. There's a lot of money to be made in the world. There's a lot of people who are very successful in the world, despite what you might hear in the news and all the negativity. But you need to work on building your abundant mindset. Number 3, making your own rules. This is something that's really big in my life, is I make my own rules. I really decide what I want to do, what I don't want to do. I have rules that are very that go against the grain, that go against social norms. I'll give you a few examples. I control my day-to-day from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. I rarely take phone calls. I usually never take incoming phone calls. The only phone calls I take are the ones from my very close friends and, of course, my family. Otherwise, everything goes through my assistants. Everything goes through email. I check email once, twice a day. I really don't want to be in a mode where I'm reacting to things. I've been in that mode when I was building and starting my business, and I just want to be in a mode. I just enjoy, and I do better when I'm in a mode of being chill, being uninterrupted. I don't want interruptions. I don't want people calling me. My businesses are set up for everyone else to know that I don't want to be interrupted. I want information to be filtered for me. That's why I rarely check social media. I rarely respond to social media. And that's just how I live my life. It just makes me very happy. I hate being in a mode where I need to respond and I need to react. I can react. I just enjoy to live my life in a very peaceful way rather than always having to react. So if you've messaged me on social media, that's probably why I have not replied. It's just I just don't reply most of the time. Again, you need to make your own rules, right? One of my other rules is that the mornings are sacred for me. I decide what I do in the morning. Generally, I don't take any meetings before 10 or 11 a.m. my time. If I'm traveling, that is also set for my time, so I never adapt to anything outside. My teams and my businesses know that it's on my schedule. This is how I roll, how I do things, and that's just how it is. I built my business to put myself in a position where I get to call the shots for my life, not out of ego and not to prove that I'm the boss, but just to suit my lifestyle. So I've really built my businesses and set up my businesses to suit my life, and I don't want to adapt my life. Again, I'm in a position today where I can choose to do whatever I want, and I don't want to have to adapt my life to my businesses. Again, it's very personal. You have to make your own rules. I will say though, that has changed a lot throughout the years. At the very beginning, I was working pretty much every minute I was awake. I was on the computer trying to build sites. I built my first website over 20 years ago using Microsoft Front Page. I had to learn coding, HTML and PHP by reading books. And so, that's how I started out. Now, it has evolved, of course, because the goal as an entrepreneur is to evolve. But today I have my own rules, and if some things don't work out because they don't fit in my schedule, so be it. That's just how I am. And, you need to make your own rules too. If you're at the beginning of your business career, you will need to work. It's very liberating to put all your time and energy into one thing because you can shut things off and really go deep into one career, whatever it is, sports, academia, business, partnering up with people and building businesses together. But again, you make your own rules. Don't let society dictate the rules. You make your own rules. Number 4 is reading and learning from a lot of different sources. You need to learn and get your information from a lot of different sources. That's something I've been taught very early in my life by I had amazing teachers growing up in middle school, and they always instilled the mentality and the mindset of being curious. And so I read a lot about history, archaeology, geography. I've watched hundreds of documentaries about history, the great empires, the rise and the falls of civilization, and how big empires rose and then crashed. And I just enjoy reading a lot of different things and learning from different sources. So never step into an echo chamber. Never be given only one source of information. Always seek multiple sources of information. It'll give you a better perspective about life in general, and then you can apply that to your business. So again, be curious, learn about a lot of different things. At the beginning in my career, I was learning mainly about business and marketing and copywriting and advertising and sales. And now it's evolved into, over the last 10 years, more into finance and investing. And, then it's evolved into topics that are completely unrelated to business. Like I said, geography, history, archaeology. So again, look for different sources of information. It will give you more data points that you can use in business to make more money. Number 5 is prioritizing. Look, if you want to be successful at one thing, you need to put all your focus, channel that focus into one main activity. There is no money to be made in being a jack of all trades, right? Yes, you can be good at everything, but you will never be great at anything. You can be good at many things, but you will never be great at everything. So you need to pick your battles. You need to pick your battles in the same way that, someone who is an athlete, who is a good tennis player, usually will not have a pro career playing tennis and then going to ice hockey or pro football. So you need to pick your sport. And so everything you do on a day-to-day basis has to support that decision. You cannot be a jack of all trades if you really want to be successful. Knowing a bit about everything is useful. I can walk in or log into any of my businesses today and talk to customer support or sales or graphic design or social media or the media buying team, and I have usually a very good understanding of what they're doing, but that's their full-time focus. I'm focused full-time on other things. So again, you need to go after mastery. You need to seek mastery, and to become a master, you need to pick your battles. You can't be great at everything. So you need to decide, what do you want to be great at, and what do you want to start outsourcing and delegating to other people on your team. Number 6 is staying lean and stacking money so you can go big when the time comes. Listen, throughout your life, and I've been lucky because I'm at a stage now in my life where I've gone through several market cycles. When I was a young child, saw the dot-com bubble, right? I saw a lot of old websites that I used to be able to browse on old modems in the late 90s and early 2000s that imploded and disappeared. I then witnessed with my own eyes the great financial crisis in between 2006 and 2009, and the impact it had on businesses and small businesses. And after that, of course, the health crisis in 2020. And so I can tell you, having been and witnessed many of these situations where there's a lot of opportunity, you need to have money, you need to have savings, you need to have cash on the side to be able to deploy and to hit hard when the time comes. Throughout your life, you get 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 big swings. Right? You don't get big swings every few weeks to invest in a business or in a new venture that can really grow. You get very few and much fewer big swings than many people believe. So when the time comes, you need to have capital. You need to have money to deploy and go big, because that is how you make a lot of money. And so if you're one of the regular spenders that you can see online, a lot of people who make a bit of money, they make their first 5, 10, 50, 100, maybe a few $1,000,000, and then they waste it all. They buy cars, they forget to pay, their teams, they forget to pay essential, they forget to save money, they forget to put money they forget to save money for a rainy day. You will find yourself at a time in your life where you see an opportunity, but you're unable to strike because you have no money. So you have to understand that there's very few big opportunities in life, and you need to have capital to deploy and money to deploy to create generational money for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones. And so instead of going out and spending all your money, start allocating a percentage, 5, 10, 15, 50% maybe of the money you make to a different bank account, a separate bank account that you promised yourself you will not touch, and you will only deploy when you have a huge opportunity to multiply that stack of money by 10, 50, or 100x. So again, save your money. Don't spend all your money. Be frugal and be ready to pounce and allocate money when there is a huge life-changing opportunity. Number 7 is look after your health and invest in your health. Invest time, invest money. You need to look after your body. You only have one body. And your mind can be very deeply affected by your body if you're injured, or if you are unable to work. If you put yourself in a situation where you overwork and you forget to take care of yourself, your body will catch up. Even if you're young today, please listen. I promise you, if you do not take care of your body, if you don't work out, if you don't eat healthy, at some point you will crash. Your body will force you to crash. And so instead of being a victim of that, prevent it. Don't be like everyone else. Don't be like the majority who, that waits for everything to start sinking to jump off the ship. Get off the ship early. Prevent issues that can be prevented. And that starts with your health. So take on a hobby. It could be tennis. It could be the gym. It could be yoga. It could be hiking. It could be running. It could be boxing. Whatever the case may be. Do something that allows you first to have an outlet, because you will go through phases building your business where things get tough and you have to get rid of, the pressure, stress, and just have fun outside of business. So you need something else. and you need something to keep you healthy and to challenge you physically. So that's number 7. Focus and allocate time every single day to your health. Every single day, I put at least 1 hour in my health, whether it's hiking, yoga, mobility, sprinting, weightlifting, playing tennis, playing ice hockey, whatever the case may be. Every single day, you need to look after your body. And number 8 is compiling skills throughout your business career, right? So remember I mentioned that at the beginning of my career, I was going after marketing, advertising, learning everything I could. I read hundreds of books. I've read all the top books on Amazon, the old books, not the ones that just came out a few years ago. I read much less marketing today because I read the original books. Most of the books out today, by the way, are adaptations of what was published dozens, sometimes hundreds of years ago. So you have to go back and read the originals. But you need to evolve your skill set. At the beginning of my career, I wasn't really interested in learning about investing because I didn't have any money, right? But when I started making real money, you have to look after investing. You have to learn about investing, about finance, how to read balance sheets. And so everything that I did early in my career was to make money, and you get to a point where you've made money, you know how to make money, and the goal is then to protect your money, but also reinvest your money. So the phase I'm in now is very different. The skill sets that I've acquired over the last few years are very different to what I acquired 15 or 20 years ago even. And so that's my advice to you. If you're in a situation right now where you're at the beginning of your career and you want to go from $0 to $10,000 a month, it's pointless today to read about investing. What are you going to invest? Seriously, you have no money today. Again, I'm here to shake you up a bit sometimes and say, look, if you have no money, what are you learning about or thinking about investing? You have no money. Okay? You can read a book a year maybe about investing, but ultimately today you need to learn about making money. Now, when you've made money, when you have a few $1,000,000, then you need to think about and learn about finance and investing and currency exchange and asset protection. And so those are the things that you will need to stack, basically, compile high-level skills on top of each other. And I'll give you a very concrete example now. The business I run today is a portfolio business where we have dozens of different businesses and brands in that portfolio business that does about $30 million a year at the time of this recording. And so the skill set I have today, or the things I've had to learn to get to this level, are very different than when I was starting out 15 years ago and I was just looking for my first client, right? And so your skills and the way you learn have to evolve the more you want to evolve in your business and in your life. So again, focus on the level and the stage you're at today. If you want to go from $0 to $10,000 a month, learn about getting clients, doing good work, fulfilling on those clients, growing a business from 0 to 6 figures. If you're at 6 figures or 7 figures, then you can start thinking and reading about investing, asset protection, reinvesting, portfolio allocation, acquiring businesses, mergers and acquisition, hiring, looking for C-level people that you can hire, and everything that comes at that level. So make sure that you understand what level you're at and make sure that you're expanding your skill set at the level you're at today, not at the level you're at or you want to be at 10 years from now in the future. That's it for the 8 skills or the 8 hacks that I would have loved to know when I was starting out. Drop a comment below, tell me what you picked up the most from this video, and I'll see you on social.